So, the iPhone 17. A fresh start? A bold new chapter? Or just the same old phone with a slightly different paint job? Well, let's just say Apple is finally doing something interesting. For the first time in years, the iPhone might actually look different. Like, genuinely different. No, not just a new color or a slightly thinner notch. We're talking a real shakeup in design. Based on leaks and insider reports, this year's iPhone 17 Pro is expected to introduce a horizontal camera bar on the back, a look that feels more, well, Google Pixel than Apple. But before you start thinking Apple has gone full copycat mode, let's break this down. See, for years, Apple has stuck to its signature diagonal camera layout. It wasn't just for aesthetics. There was a reason for it. The Face ID sensors, internal battery placement, and even the way the lenses had to work together made that triangular camera bump necessary. But now, Apple might be throwing that all out. Instead of the usual camera cluster in the corner, the iPhone 17 Pro is rumored to feature a long, dark camera bar stretching across the back. And no, it's not just there for the looks. Apple seems to be making a change to house-upgraded camera technology, possibly shifting to a new periscope zoom system across the entire Pro lineup. If that's true, it means better zoom capabilities without needing a ridiculously oversized camera bump. But that's not the only big shift. There's another wild rumor floating around. Two-tone. Yes, that two-tone rumor you've been hearing. It's kind of real, but not in the way people initially thought. Instead of a true two-tone finish like some old-school iPhones, it seems the massive camera bar will create the illusion of a two-tone effect. Think of it more as a bold design contrast, rather than a separate material split. It's different, sure, but is it different in a good way? That's still up for debate. But of course, design is just the beginning. Apple isn't just shaking things up on the outside. Under the hood, the iPhone 17 could bring some even bigger surprises. For years, Apple fans have begged for one thing: make the iPhone lighter. And it looks like Apple might finally be listening. Rumors suggest the iPhone 17 Pro lineup will use a new type of aluminum chassis, replacing the heavy titanium from the iPhone 15 Pro. This means the phone could be significantly lighter and thinner, without sacrificing durability. But why the sudden change? Well, Apple has been experimenting with materials for a while now. Titanium was introduced with the iPhone 15 Pro, and while it's strong, it added a noticeable weight that some users didn't love. Aluminum, on the other hand, is lighter and has been used in MacBooks and iPads for years. The shift suggests Apple wants a sleeker feel, but there's a catch. A thinner phone could mean a smaller battery. And that's the last thing iPhone users want. But Apple might have a trick up its sleeve: stacked battery technology. This is a method used in EVs and some high-end gadgets, where battery cells are layered instead of placed side by side. It allows for more battery capacity in a smaller space, meaning you could get better battery life without needing a physically larger battery. Of course, Apple won't stop there. The iPhone 17 Pro is also rumored to feature a new, more efficient A19 Pro chip built on a 3nm process. In simpler terms, it'll be faster and more power efficient than ever before. Combine that with a potential LTPO OLED display that can drop down to 1 Hz refresh rate, and you're looking at some major battery gains. But Apple isn't just tweaking the design and performance. There's another big rumor that could change how you use the iPhone entirely: a next-generation front camera system. A selfie camera redesign that changes everything. For years, Apple has been refining the iPhone's front camera. But let's be real, it's still stuck inside that dynamic island. Sure, it was a cool innovation when it first launched, but in 2025, it's starting to feel outdated. That's why Apple is reportedly working on a major change to the front camera system for the iPhone 17. Instead of a traditional hole punch or a notch, leaks suggest Apple could introduce an under-display front camera for the first time. This would allow for a true all-screen iPhone, something fans have been waiting for. No interruptions, no dynamic island, just pure, uninterrupted display. But here's the challenge. Under-display cameras have existed for a while, and they've never been perfect. Brands like Samsung and ZTE have tried, but image quality often takes a hit. The camera has to see through the pixels, which can reduce sharpness and make photos look hazy. So how is Apple planning to fix this? Rumors say they're working on a next-gen image processing algorithm combined with a special display layer that lets in more light while keeping pixels sharp. If Apple pulls it off, we could be looking at the best implementation of an under-display camera yet. One that doesn't ruin selfie quality. And that's not all. There's also talk of a 24-megapixel front-facing sensor, a big jump from the current 12-megapixel. This would mean sharper selfies, better low-light performance, and more realistic depth of field effects for portrait mode. If true, influencers and content creators are going to love this. With a nearly invisible front camera and a completely uninterrupted OLED display, the iPhone 17 might just be the sleekest iPhone we've ever seen. But Apple isn't stopping there. They're also rethinking how we unlock and interact with the device entirely. Ever since Apple introduced Face ID with the iPhone X, it's been one of the most secure and advanced facial recognition systems on the market. But let's be honest, while it's great in most situations, it still struggles in low-light environments, certain angles, and even when you're wearing sunglasses. That's why Apple is reportedly planning to completely redesign Face ID for the iPhone 17. Instead of relying on a traditional sensor housed in the dynamic island, leaks suggest that Face ID will be placed entirely under the display. So, what does that mean for you? For starters, no visible Face ID components, just a seamless OLED screen. That means more screen real estate without sacrificing security. But the real improvement comes in how it works. Apple is rumored to be using a next-gen infrared sensor with improved AI processing. This could mean faster recognition, unlock your phone in an instant, even from wider angles. Better low-light performance. No more struggling to unlock your phone in a dimly lit room. Enhanced security. Apple is reportedly using a dual-layer dot projection system, making it even harder for Face ID to be tricked by a photo or mask. Another interesting leak suggests Apple might combine Face ID with in-display Touch ID. For years, fans have been asking for a return of fingerprint authentication, and the iPhone 17 might finally bring it back. Apple has been developing ultrasonic fingerprint sensors, which are far more accurate and secure than traditional optical sensors. If they pull it off, you could have both Face ID and Touch ID working together, giving you two ultra-secure ways to unlock your device. This could also be a game-changer for Apple Pay and password authentication. Imagine being able to confirm payments instantly with either your face or fingerprint, whichever is more convenient at the moment. With these changes, the iPhone 17 might just have the most advanced biometric security system ever put in a smartphone. But that's not the only major shift coming, because Apple is also working on a complete redesign of the iPhone's materials. With all these rumored changes, the iPhone 17 isn't just another yearly upgrade. It's shaping up to be one of the biggest leaps in iPhone history. Apple seems to be taking a bold step towards sleeker design, smarter technology, and longer-lasting performance. The under-display Face ID is expected to finally remove the notch, giving users an uninterrupted screen experience. The new titanium build will add durability without making the phone heavier, while the A19 chip is rumored to push the boundaries of power and efficiency. Apple is also working on a new thermal cooling system, ensuring the phone stays cool even under intense use. Battery life is expected to see a massive improvement, with reports suggesting it could last up to 2 days on a single charge. Meanwhile, the camera system is set to be better than ever, with a periscope zoom lens that will bring professional-level photography right into your pocket. And if the rumors about Touch ID making a comeback are true, Apple may be giving users the best of both worlds when it comes to security and convenience. All of this leads to one question: is the iPhone 17 worth upgrading to? If you're using an older iPhone, especially anything before the iPhone 15, then the answer is almost certainly yes. The improvements in battery life, processing power, and design make this a huge step up. Even if you have a newer iPhone, the promise of an uninterrupted display and next-gen Face ID might be tempting enough to make the switch. Of course, Apple hasn't officially confirmed any of these changes yet, but if the leaks are accurate, the iPhone 17 could set the new standard for smartphones, not just for Apple, but for the entire industry.